Even though it is covered with ice, President Trump has his sights set on acquiring Greenland to protect U.S. national security.
We are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor.
Now, President Trump has reportedly ordered the military to drop a plan for a potential invasion of Greenland. Well, Joey Jones is at the touchscreen with more. So, Joey, let's break it down. Who has control of Greenland now?
Yeah, well, the Danes have control of Greenland, Denmark. So Denmark has what we call, they're responsible for basically their economy, their defense, their diplomatic policy. But Greenland itself is an autonomous territory of Denmark. And what that means is they control basically their domestic policies. They have their own government, and they've actually been working towards independence since 1979, really was when they started what they call autonomous control or self-rule. And it's been working in that direction. And so the reason why we want to look at this is a huge, almost continent. It's the largest island we have. And so as you look at it in respect to where we are in North America, it is huge. But if you look here, the green area, that's where it's populated. There's only about 57,000 civilians here. And then these little dots, they represent a couple of different things. They're both our military bases, like we have one, which is our Space Force base. And then you also have the Joint Arctic Command of the Danish military here. The rest of these are where a lot of their rare earth minerals and opportunity to make money places are that we're looking at. Greenland's economy kind of just depends on fishing right now, and so Denmark actually supplements that. So when we talk about acquiring Greenland, that would be a part of the conversation.
So, Joey, you kind of touched on this a little bit here already, but in terms of the location of Greenland, why is it so strategically significant for the United States and our national security?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of self-evident, right? I mean, we talk about, this is the Arctic, right? The Arctic Circle up here, but this is the Arctic Ocean. When you look at some of our adversaries like Russia, their quickest route to us, or just even to access our hemisphere, is through the Arctic Ocean. This is called the Greenland-Iceland-UK Gap, which is this area here, which is best for ships to transport. So there's a couple of things here. One is economic and merchant ships, those kind of things. The other one is military. You got to be able to monitor this, and it's hard to do that from over here. It's hard to build firm structures on a base that's back here, which is where our current Air Force only base is. And so this idea that if Greenland were all American territory of some sort, United States territory, our eyes looking at our foes would be a lot easier to do, especially in this area that's very sensitive and very important to pretty much everyone that we consider to be someone that's not our friend. So just not only the size of the continent and the fact that it's in the Arctic, which is the next untapped resource, from everything from oil and gas to rich minerals to even research on climate change, it's also just its strategic placement next to not just our friends in Europe, but obviously our foes in Russia and China.
Joey, you briefly touched on the shipping routes in the region.
Yeah.
Can you show them and talk to us about why specifically they're important for the U.S.?
Now, you got to understand, maps are sometimes out of perspective. That's why we tried to blow up Greenland and show you, well, blow up the picture of Greenland and show you how important it is. So when we look at this, we're taking a large look, looking down onto the Earth. And so what you see here is this entire North Asia here is Russia, right? Here's North America. So it might be hard to kind of see that right away. And then you got the Arctic Circle in between. So these shipping routes, some of them are not there yet, like the Transpolar Sea route, which would be the easiest from Russia back around. That doesn't exist yet. That's in the Arctic Ocean. But these other two, the Northwest Passage and the Northern Sea route, these are being used all the time. And as you see, these two go around each side of Greenland, especially the one that comes through Canada here. And so these routes are how commerce is done around the world. And to have some sort of a say in that, and to not be able to be pinched off as the United States from bringing things in from the north, that's a big deal. And also our ability to get things to and from, you know, a United States state, Alaska, is an important part of this too. Not to say we're going to go at war or be at odds with Canada anytime soon, but we have seen in the last couple of years, sometimes President Trump uses tough rhetoric with Canada, and sometimes we get into a tussle with them, and we may want to have more access or more control in that region.
Yeah. Well, Joey, can you describe the Russian military presence?
Yeah,
in the region?
this is quite amazing when you think about it. So, Again, we're using maps here. You got to use your imagination a little bit. This is not flat. This comes up to the Arctic Circle. This all comes to the top of the sphere. So if we draw a line and just consider this, the north part of the approaching the Arctic Circle, look at all of these Russian military bases, hundreds of them. And in those Russian military bases, which are on Russian land, but incredibly close, if not in the Arctic Ocean and Greenland, which is incredibly close to us, we look at some of the assets here, and that's where we start to take notice. There are naval assets here. Think a lot of the nuclear submarines, things of that nature, and opportunities to cross the Arctic Circle and get to us really quickly. Again, what it comes down to is Russia is a northern country. Of course, we're going to have more going on up here. What can we do to monitor this, to combat this, to deter this? We had the nuclear missile crisis in Cuba because they were trying to get closer to us. Well, if we owned Greenland, that's not a problem because then that's our territory and we can put whatever we want there. Not to say we can't in some ways already, but it really makes strategic sense. And what's right below Russia in this area? We have another big foe. So this idea that we could have a larger presence there in Greenland, also be able to go in and explore so much there that is natural resources and opportunities to learn the world we're going to live in 100 or 1,000 years.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Joey, over at the board.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.